Hi everyone, it's Jessica. Thank you so much for meeting me on the mat for this happy hip practice. We're going to start laying on our backs with our knees bent, our feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and just taking a few moments to settle into our practice today. Letting our knees fall in toward one another, allowing ourselves the space to just let everything melt into the mat. Every breath just really bringing us to the present moment. Feeling everything start to soften and relax. Let's take 3 big breaths together. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale, let it go through the mouth. Again, a little bit bigger this time. Inhaling deeply, fully. And then exhale, let it go with a sigh. Last time, biggest one yet. Filling your lungs completely. Sipping a little bit more into the top, pausing, holding it, and then let it all go. We're going to be starting this hip class by doing a little bit of mobility work, so just mobilizing our hip joints. If you can picture our hip joint being a ball and socket joint, so our hip bone actually coming in, ending into a ball, and our socket. So we're just going to be mobilizing that ball within the socket. So drawing the left knee in towards the body, we're letting the right leg go long, and just rocking it a little side to side. And then we're going to let the knee fall in towards the right side of the body, gently lengthening the leg, and then circling it around so the knee falls out as we draw the knee back in towards the chest and circle it around. So we're going to continue this movement slowly, and we are aiming for a smooth motion. Hopefully none of this is painful. If you are feeling any sharp pain, please, please, please don't lean into this. This should not be painful. One more time in this direction. And then switching, moving the opposite way. So while you're doing this, your pelvis is staying firm, anchored down onto your mat. It's just your hip bone, your thigh bone that is moving within that socket joint. Good. Finishing that circle that you're on, drawing the knee back in again, squeezing it in towards the chest. And then we're going to start pairing some movement with our breath. So as we inhale, we're going to bring the knee towards the left side off of our mat. And as we exhale, we're going to grab the knee with our opposite hand and bring it towards the opposite side of our body. Inhale, switch hands, knee comes towards the same side. And exhale, bringing it towards the opposite side. Moving back and forth on your own rhythm. Couple more times, just like this. Next time the knee comes off to the left, we're going to hold it there. Maybe anchoring down the right side of your hip with your right hand, and the knee can stay either where it is, or you can do a gentle movement a little bit up and down off to the side of your mat. Your choice. Couple of breaths here. And then letting the knee come all the way over to the right side of the body, opening up into a nice twist. So left arm comes out into a T or a cactus shape, your choice. One more big inhale here. And exhale, slowly start to unravel that. Bring the knee back in towards the chest, squeeze it in, rock it a couple more times. We'll place both feet flat on the mat and just windshield wiper the legs a couple of times. Left leg goes long, right knee comes in towards the chest. Rock it in side to side a little bit. And then we'll start to do that hip joint mobility. So just letting the knee drop in towards the midline, doing that internal rotation as we lengthen the leg and slowly dragging it back out as we externally rotate. Slow circle around. Pelvis is staying still. The movement is happening from your thigh. Switching directions. Hugging the knee in. Again, rocking it a little side to side. And then starting to bring that movement in with our breath. So as we inhale and pulling the knee all the way off to the right side of the mat, exhale, bringing it all the way across the body towards the left side of the mat. Inhale to the right, and exhale to the left. Inhale right, and exhale to the left. Doing this a few more times. The next time the knee comes off to the right, holding for a couple of breaths, anchoring your pelvis down with that left hand. Breathing into any tight or sticky areas. And then exhaling, bringing the knee across the body, over to the left side, coming into your reclined twist. Opening up the right arm into a T or a cactus shape. Letting every breath really increase the space, lengthening the space between your knee, your hip, your shoulder, melting into your mat. Gently unraveling, coming back to center, hugging that knee in, hugging both knees in, circling the hips around, rocking a little side to side. Let's place both feet flat. We'll do a couple of rounds of sacral rocking. So for those of you who haven't done this with me before, we're just going to find the bony bits at the top of our pelvis, the top of our hips. And as we inhale, we're going to rock them up towards the bottom of our rib cage. And as we exhale, let them rock away from our rib cage. So it's a subtle movement. You don't need to be contracting your legs or your feet or anything like that to make it happen. It's just a nice little rocking movement. So inhale, the space shortens, and exhale, it lengthens. Good. And then walking the feet maybe a little bit closer to your hips. We're going to tuck our tail. So again, we're shortening that space between the ribs, really engaging the glutes, the lower abdominals. And we're going to do a graduated bridge. So instead of just muscling our way up into a bridge pose, we're going to engage the lower glutes and the upper hamstrings. And these are muscles that tend to be weak in a lot of people. So we're going to just lift the hips enough that there's barely enough space that you can slide a hand underneath your hips. But try to do this while still keeping that tucked tail. So imagine we're trying to bring our tailbone towards our heels. Stay here for a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, just moving up a fraction more. Reset that pelvic tilt, that tail tuck. Inhale, move the hips ever so slightly more. And again, tuck the tail a little bit more. One more time, inhale a little bit more. This is a great exercise to find strength and stability within these areas, within the low back and the pelvis and the hips. One more time, up a little bit higher. Reset that tuck, really, really trying to tuck, bring the tailbone towards the heels. On your next inhale, coming all the way up into your full bridge. If you're not there already, pause for a full breath. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lower down with control. Good. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side. And we're going to roll all the way over, coming into table pose. Right away, we're going to start doing some cat-cows. So inhale, drop the belly down, tail and chest lift up. Exhale, belly button up towards the spine, rounding the back. Move through a couple of times at your own pace. And then starting to add some hip sways into it, rocking the hips from side to side. Stir the pot. Good. Coming back to our table pose, we've mobilized the hips fairly well from a joint perspective. But we're going to lift that right leg up, that right knee up, and just circle it around a couple of times, lifting the foot all the way up towards the sky, bringing the knee to the nose, and then eventually bringing the foot forward. So we're in a low lunge position. And we're just going to scooch the toes forward a little bit so that we can lunge forward and come all the way back. Again, trying to match movement with our breath. So inhaling forward and exhaling back. And this is where a little bit of play and exploration comes in, because we're going to see what is tight for us and what maybe our body is craving. So inhale forward and exhale back. Maybe turn the foot out at a 45-degree angle. Inhale forward and exhale back. Maybe try walking the foot off of the edge of the mat, bringing the hands to the inside of the foot. Inhale forward and exhale back. Maybe we'll stay in this forward position. Inhale, lifting the chest up. Exhale, bending at the elbows a little bit to come deeper into this. Maybe we stay flat on the foot, or maybe we turn onto the baby toe side of the foot, letting the knee fall out. Sway the hips a little side to side. Find what feels good to you. We're going to plant the left hand underneath that shoulder and see if you can bring the right hand to the right knee and do a little bit of a twist. We're really rolling that shoulder back and just turning the chest, just doing a baby twist. 2 breaths here. Good. Both hands come down. We're going to walk our hands back a little bit so we can bring that right foot back in, coming into an upright lunge. So as soon as we come into this upright lunge, the first thing we're going to do is tuck our tail so that we are lengthening the front of this left hip. And as soon as we do that, we're going to inhale, bring the arms up. When we bring our arms up, we're lengthening the spine, and you'll notice that that right away increases everything on that, the stretch on that left front hip. Inhale, reach all the way up, hips drop forward. Exhale, we're going to bring the hips back and straighten out that right leg. Inhale forward and exhale, straighten out the leg. Inhale forward, keep that left glute engaged, contracted. Exhale, straighten out the leg. One more time, flowing through. Is your tail still tucked? Exhale. This time as we come forward, we're going to hold for a couple of breaths. Chest proud, arms lifting tall. Right hand dropping to the right hip. Left hand is reaching up towards the sky. Maybe a little bit of a bend towards the right side. And as you do this, there's a little bit of a tendency of letting the chest spiral up towards the left. Breathe into it. Pressing into the right big toe, feeling strong here. Good. Push out of this. Left hand reaches up towards the sky and then down towards the mat. We're going to walk the right foot so it's in line with the back knee. From here, just dropping onto the baby toe side of the foot. So this is going to help lengthen the outside edge of that whole leg and hip. It can be intense quickly, so be gentle coming into this. We're slowly going to bring the hips back. We don't want to have the knee completely straight, but just back enough till we feel some sensation there. Left hand, you can stay here with both hands on the mat, or left hand stays planted, right hand comes to the hip, a little bit of a twist. Come on back down. We're going to walk the hands forward so we can rebend that knee. Come back into your table pose. Take a couple of moments just to swivel the hips out. From here, we're going to step the right foot out to the side. Straight leg to start, but again, this is an area where you can explore and play. So we'll start off by inhaling forward, exhale, slide it back. But maybe you're not feeling much like this, so try, instead of having the toes pointing forward, have the toes pointing out to the side. Or try bending the knee. Try circling it around, hips coming side to side. Play around with this a little bit. We are getting some length on the inner thigh, but everyone is different and every hip is different, so play with this a little bit. Working with your breath, see if you can find a sweet spot. Coming to your sweet spot, whatever that looks like. Planting the right hand underneath the shoulder or chest. We're going to bring the left hand to the hip and do a baby twist to the left side. 2 breaths here. We won't be here for long. Hand comes back down. Back to table pose. Move in a way that feels good. Before we start the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to lift that left foot up. And same thing, we'll just move the hip around a couple of times. Lifting the foot up towards the sky, bringing the knee towards the nose, and eventually bringing the foot forward, coming into this low lunge. Scooching the toes forward a little bit. Remembering to work with your breath. Finding the right amount of sensation for you. So trying straight with the foot straight forward. Maybe scooching the foot a little bit to the side. Maybe moving the foot completely off the edge of the mat at a 45-degree angle. Hands coming to the inside of the foot. Inhale, chest comes up high. Exhale, maybe bending at the elbows. You can stay with the foot flat or rolling onto the baby toe side of the knee. Knee falls out. Baby toe side of the foot, knee falls out. Flow in and out with your breath, or stay in the spot that feels good. Planting the right hand underneath the shoulder. We're going to bring the left hand towards the left knee. Baby twist. One more big breath here. Exhale, hands come down. We're going to walk the hands back so we can walk the foot back onto the mat. Come into our upright position. So, tucking our tail right away, getting that nice long upper body. Inhale the arms up as we lunge forward. Exhale, straighten the leg, lean back. Inhale, forward, reach all the way up. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward, and exhale, back. Flow through a few more times on your own pace. And then next time you reach up, we're going to pause for a couple of breaths. So really trying to keep that tail tucked. The right glute is contracted, lengthening through the upper body. So we're stretching the hip flexor from both sides. Left hand comes down towards the left hip. Right hand reaches up a little higher. And then slight bend over to the left. Chest spirals up towards the sky. Left foot is planted firmly for feeling unsteady. Right hand comes all the way back up to the sky and then back down to the mat. We're going to walk the foot in line with your knee, drop down onto the baby toe side of the foot. So we're letting that whole leg drop out. Imagining that you're dragging the mat with your foot towards your body. Sink the hips back to your good degree of sensation. This can get intense fast. Keeping the right hand where it is, left hand can stay where it is, or left hand to left hip in that baby twist. One more breath here. As we exhale, we're going to walk the hands forward, rebend that front knee, bring it back to table, circle the body around, and then step the left foot out to the side. And same thing, we'll start to slide forward and back, moving with our breath, exploring what feels good. Just spending a few moments here, inhaling up, exhaling forward back. Trying side to side, knee bent or knee straight. Planting the left hand underneath the shoulder or chest, right hand comes to the hip. A little bit of a twist. Slowly come out of this. The knee comes back under. We're going to right away put our big toes together, knees as wide as the edge of our mat. Sit down into a wide-legged child's pose. Sway the hips a little side to side. Coming onto our side, we'll be doing a variation of a dancer pose, but laying on our side just to make it a little more accessible. So bringing the knee first up towards the chest, so we can grab onto the ankle, and then drawing the knee down away, so we're reaching the knee away from the crown of the head. Feeling a nice stretch along the front of the thigh. Bringing the knee back in towards the body before releasing the ankle, avoiding that slingshot effect. Let's roll onto our bellies for just a moment. Hands stacked underneath the forehead, big toes touching, heels falling out. Just for a moment. And then coming onto our other side. Once again, drawing the knee in towards the body before grabbing onto the ankle. And then the knee points away from the crown. Moving it further and further away until you feel some stretch without having the low back hurt. Gently bringing the knee back in towards the body before releasing the ankle. Let's come onto our backs. And from here, just hugging both knees in towards the chest, rocking a little side to side. Letting the right leg go long. We're going to hug the left knee in, grabbing onto both the knee and the shin with the other hand. So we're just changing the angle slightly, and let's rock that in a little side to side. And then if you find an angle that feels particularly good, we're aiming the knee and the shin towards the opposite shoulder. Breathing into that. Feeling everything start to slow down. Gently releasing. We're going to cross that same ankle over the opposite knee. So left ankle crossed over our right knee. Just reaching through the window that's created from this figure four shape and grabbing onto the back of our right knee. Just rocking that shape side to side a little bit. And you can continue rocking side to side, or if you find one particular spot that feels especially good right now, please feel free to pause there. Taking a couple of big breaths. Good. Releasing the hands, we're just going to finish crossing the knee over the opposite knee. So the left knee is crossed over the right thigh. And we're just going to let both legs drop over to the right side of the mat. So we're coming into another variation of a reclined spinal twist. If this doesn't work for your knees or your hips, please feel free to stack the knees on top of one another. This is just a nice way to get into the SI joints and just a little bit more deeply into the hips. Arms open up into a T or a cactus shape. Head can turn to the left or wherever it feels comfortable. A couple of breaths here. Very gently moving one body part at a time. Let's unravel, come back to center. Placing both feet flat on the mat. Windshield wipering ever so slowly. And then letting the left leg go long. Drawing the right knee in. Walking it a little side to side. And grabbing onto that shin. So we're just changing that angle ever so slightly. And again, rocking that leg and hip a little side to side. And then drawing the leg towards the opposite shoulder. A few deep breaths here. Releasing the shin, crossing the ankle over the opposite knee, reaching through and grabbing onto the back of the left thigh or the knee, wherever it works. Drawing the legs in towards your body until you feel a nice amount of stretch. Rocking, swaying side to side. Pausing if you find a particularly good spot. Releasing enough that you can cross the right knee over the left. Drop the legs over to the left side of the body. Come into your final twist of today's class. Opening the arms up into a T or a cactus shape. Two more big breaths here. Gently unraveling. Feet flat on the mat. This time as we windshield wiper, as the knees drop to the left, let's bring the head to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, knees to the right and head to the left. Inhale to center. Knees left and head right. Inhale to center. Knees right and head left. Coming back to center. One last shape before our final pose. We're just going to cross our ankles as if we're sitting cross-legged and let the knees fall out. Again, as if we're sitting cross-legged, but with our upper body resting on the mat. If you are tight through your hips, please put some pillows or folded blankets underneath the thighs so that your body and your mind, your brain feels like you can relax and release in this position. Letting everything melt into the mat. Big, relaxing breaths. Gently using your hands to help your knees back up. Changing the cross of your ankles. And let the knees fall back up to the sides. A few breaths here. Using helping hands, bringing the knees back into center. Drawing the knees in towards the body. Rocking side to side. Circling them around. And then squeezing yourself into a little ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. stretching out, taking up space for Shavasana for our final resting pose. Soaking in the ripple effects of your good work, of taking this time, dedicating this time to self-care. Feeling everything softer, your breath a little deeper. Taking one last big breath all the way in and letting it go with a great big sigh. Quote to end our practice today: give yourself permission to do the best you can and the grace to be at peace on the days when you miss the mark. Thank you for taking this time to join me today. I hope that your hips and possibly your spirit are a little bit happier. It's an honor each and every time I get to meet with you. I hope the rest of your day is wonderful. Take care. Namaste.